I was not expecting this in any way, shape, or form. I was told by a friend a couple days ago that Konami was going to have a Silent Hill showcase this week, and then I completely forgot about it. As you may know, I do work a full-time job, so it is hard for me to keep up on the news that releases, especially because a lot of it does release during the day around noon or so, and you really can't keep up if you're working a full-time job. And I was also not prepared because I didn't expect to see what was shown here. So I gotta start by saying fuck you, Konami, in a good way. Because I personally am not prepared for this. We got a few announcements today, and I think Konami is trying to maybe come back to rival Capcom with the Resident Evil franchise, because they did show a few things here that kind of seems like they're trying to be another, or I guess return to be a major competitor to Resident Evil, if they were even a competitor back in the day. But Silent Hill 2 Remake was announced as one of the few announcements. And I want to start with this one because it is the first Silent Hill game I ever played. I barely played the first one, and it was on an emulator, years later. I barely played the third one. I didn't play the fourth one. I didn't play Downpour or the one on the Wii. I played Homecoming, which I think was the Xbox 360 one, and I think I played the one on PSP. That one was called I think it was Origins is what it's called. I played that one as well. So not the biggest Silent Hill fan, but I am a bit of a fan. But Silent Hill 2 is where it started for me. And I remember my friend had it on PS2, and we were just visiting him, and I said, hey, what is this? We should play this. And he was like, no, we're not playing that horror game. And at the time, I didn't really have much experience with horror games. I didn't play the original Resident Evil games back in the day. So it was new to me, and I had some fun with it. I think the best part of that game was the unexpected jump scares from real world things, like someone calling my cell phone, and us being jumpy and scared. Yes, we did have cell phones back then. They were flip phones, but I remember my mother called me, and that phone ring really just scared all of us. And then I brought it to another friend's house, and we were playing it there, and a fire truck outside the window sped through with the sirens on. It scared the crap out of us. And of course, back then, PS2, we had the memory card, so we could just transfer our files from, bring it from PlayStation to PlayStation. So I played the second game, only completed it once, and it was one of the scariest things I've played back in the day. I don't know how it's going to compare now. I can purchase it on my Xbox, the remaster with the third one. I think it was like $15 or so at the time when I saw it on sale. Assuming the backwards compatibility will work, but this is on the store, it should work. I don't know how well it'll compare to back in, now as it was back then. But with the remake, it is PS5 exclusive, and it is hopefully going to try to recreate the sense of horror from back then. So I don't know how prepared I am for that, because the last survival horror game I played that really freaked me out was Resident Evil 8. More specifically, the dollhouse level and the factory was really horrifying. The castle did have some horrifying moments, but not as much as the dollhouse and the factory. Man, that factory almost gave me a heart attack. And then the fish level, fuck, that level was whack. But other than that, the first Outlast was another one that really fucked with my head and gave me nightmares. I don't know why I play these games, but I do. And I am ready for the adrenaline of this Silent Hill 2 remake if it's good. Now, they did show some other things that they talked very briefly about, some, and others we don't really have much information. Now, when I mentioned that they're trying to maybe rival Capcom with Resident Evil. They are doing a new movie, but it is going to not only be a sequel of the first movie, I believe, because they want to go back to those roots where it was actually good and scary, but I believe it's also a movie based off the second game, as they mentioned. So it will be based off James Sunderland and finding Maria in Silent Hill. The one thing that I found funny was the character of James for the remake game kind of looks like that guy from Gotham who played Gordon. I don't remember his name, but he was also in the OC. Kind of reminds me of him. It's clearly not him though. But I don't really care too much about horror movies. They don't really do it for me. I think the scariest horror movie I saw was in second place would be, well, I guess third place was Paranormal Activity. Second place was maybe Mirrors, I think that's what it's called, with the guy from 24. And the first one being The Exorcist back in the day, which I'm not even going to put a picture of that girl from The Exorcist, because that shit, to this day, I cannot look at that bitch. It's so terrifying, okay? But they are doing a new movie. There's only artwork about the movie, so they haven't even been starting production on it. So it is a ways away. And the game, I believe, was also another ways away. Probably 2024, maybe. I don't see it coming out next year. If it is next year, cool. Because we are also getting some more Resident Evil 8 stuff end of this year. Actually, this should be out this month. Actually, I know there's a showcase coming out this week. I think Resident Evil Showcase. I think tomorrow, a Thursday actually. But the RE stuff should be out, and then January is the Dead Space remake. So we are getting back into the survival horror. Gaming is coming back into its roots. But it is one of those touchy subjects, and I sound like a broken record with the whole remake thing, because it is a remake. And this will be a good remake if it's done right, because it's a PS2 game being remade for the next gen, and as compared to a PS3 game that was remastered and then remake again. So, but like I said, they are making a movie. Don't really know who that's for, but video game movies are slowly getting better, especially with Sonic the Hedgehog. As you may know, I'm a huge Sonic hater. I don't like Sonic the Hedgehog at all. I hate the gaming franchise. I hate the character. Don't ask me why. I just do for my reasons. But the movies, the two Sonic movies, were great in my opinion, and probably the most successful video game movies in my opinion. Okay, so going forward from there, there were a couple of other games that were announced, very, very brief things. One of them is called Ascension. I don't remember if that's the one that might be, it might be story based, where you change the story as you go along, or that might be a different one. I forgot what that one was called. I'll just post like trailers and all that in this video anyway. But those projects are very, very early development projects. So they're not telling us much about it. I'm worried that one of these might be a mobile game and other ones might be like a console game or just an experience. We have nothing in terms of like a VR experience as of yet, but with PSVR 2 releasing next year and then Silent Hill 2 Remake being exclusive to PS5, we could see a VR Silent Hill game, which Resident Evil 7 had a VR for PlayStation, and now RE8 is getting the VR for PlayStation. So competitor, right? And then we're also getting a new Silent Hill game, Silent Hill F. Now I don't know if this has any connection to PT and then that Silent Hill game that was canceled with Norman Reedus. It might not be. I think that is just a completely scrapped idea completely. But not much is said about this project either. Not much is really known other than the teaser we got. So Konami is doing some things. I know they've been pretty shitty with how they treat their employees and other practices they've done. A lot of game companies are coming out to be more shitty. A lot of other companies. I know G Fuel has some shitty shit happening recently. Activision Blizzard had that whole bullshit shitty thing. EA has shit coming out of their ass when they release video games because they can't release a good game. So a lot of these companies are really shitty, and I'm happy to see that in some aspects they're trying to make these changes. You know, Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, so I guess they're going to try to fix all those scandals and hopefully make the company better than what it was, because I didn't really care about their games anyway. The only one I cared about was the Tony Hawk franchise, and if they, when they own Sonic and not Sonic, Spyro and Crash or whatever. Which I didn't care about Crash. It's more for Spyro the Dragon. Which technically I don't even think it was it Spyro that Activision owned? I don't remember. But they did have Tony Hawk, and I was hoping that Pro Skater 3 or 4 remake will come out, but it's not. But hopefully Microsoft does good with that. Konami, they fucked over Hideo Kojima and the whole Silent Hill thing and the whole Metal Gear thing. So, I mean, I still like Konami for the fact that they make Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm still a Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy. I don't play as much, at all. I'm more of a collector type of guy with Yu-Gi-Oh! So hopefully they do more good things. Hopefully the Silent Hill projects are great. Hopefully Yu-Gi-Oh! Continues to be good. But yeah, my friend hit me up today. He kind of spoiled it for me. He said, hey, I need you to play Silent Hill 2 Remake. And I was like, bro, I forgot, man. I have a bad memory and I work. Frankie, my memory's bad, dude. Come on. But it's all good. Spoiler for what? It was bound to happen at some point, I guess. It's not like he spoiled any details of it other than it's releasing, but like I said, I'm not really sure if I'm mentally prepared for Silent Hill 2 Remake, because the first one really just messed with my head and really freaked me out as a kid. Although that was my mistake for playing it as a kid, I guess. But I'm ready to take the leap, and there's gonna be the DualSense haptics and maybe adaptive triggers. Maybe something will happen with the fear, because it is a psychological horror. So maybe the haptics will do something for that to feel what he's feeling. And hopefully they keep true to the roots and they don't change too much. Kind of like Resident Evil 2 Remake did make some changes, but I still enjoyed that game because I never played the second one, original Part 2. I only played Part 2 Remake, and I didn't play Resident Evil 3 back in the day, but RE3 Remake was dog shit in my opinion. It was cut short and robbed of the experience, especially for a whole section that was removed from the game. But I am ready for some survival horror. I was planning to do some live streams of Dead Space 1 and 2 for the month of October, being that it's Halloween month, but we're already halfway through October and I haven't even gone back on my Xbox to do it. So maybe this weekend I'll get to it. But I was thinking of doing it closer towards January when the reboot or remake releases anyway. So we'll see how that goes going forward. Maybe I'll do it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a Dead Space Twitch stream or something like that, or even just a live gameplay or something, or just record gameplay and whatever. Let me know and I'll do it. I'll probably just do a live private and then just upload it as a video. Let me know and I'll do that as an alternative. But for sure, I'm gonna try to maybe live stream Silent Hill 2 remake when that releases. If not, I'll just play it and review it. We'll see, because I did do some Twitch streams for Resident Evil 2 Remake back when it was out. Not a full game thing, but I had fun with it when I did it then, so maybe I'll do it now. But that's kind of it for this video. A lot of news this week. I do have another video that I just made about Need for Speed. Check that out. It was poorly done, but the game is also going to be poorly done anyway, so that kind of goes hand in hand. Then you got this video here, and then I think that's about it for now until Ragnarok is next month. So get ready for Ragnarok. It's the end of the 9 realms, so that's gonna be exciting. And don't forget to check out my other channels, like my Instagram. I post a lot of game content there, like screenshots and quick video clips of games. My TikTok is kind of booming in a way. You can search that. I'll probably just put the link down in the description or something. And I have a comedy channel. I don't really post on there that often, but if you want some stand-up comedy, I do have that I'll post in the description as well. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about this whole Silent Hill thing. Are you ready to step back into the mist, into the fog? Are you ready to step back into Silent Hill and shit your pants? Or are you just like, it's over, it's done? Let me know, and we'll talk in the description, in the comments. And I'll see you on the next one. And don't buy Gotham Knights. It's gonna be shitty. I'm gonna tell you this right now, just as a guess, educated guess, a prediction. It's gonna be shitty, but I am gonna get some footage of it. My brother is getting the game at release this week, so I'm gonna go visit my brother and he'll play it, and I'll just take his video clips and put them together, and I'll do like a first impressions from me viewing it. I'm sure he'll let me get my hands on the controller. Ignore the asshole with the loud car outside, but that's my video, and I'll see you guys next time.